Welcome back everyone to Dan's Hickory Creek Mill. In this video I'm going to show you how to set the 0 point on your project in coordination with your machine. And what that means is it just simply tells the machine where your project's located on the table, what the starting point is for its carve, and what the origin is of the distance above the surface of the material is your starting point or your 0 point. Now, you may ask, what is the difference between homing the machine and setting the 0 on the machine? As you'll notice in this example, the machine has already been homed. And if you don't know how to do that, I have another video that goes through step by step how to home the machine. And of course that's a very basic function. Many of you will already know how to do that, but this video is more or less for the beginners who are just getting started, not real sure on what all this stuff is or how it works. So homing the machine is the first thing you need to do. You can refer to my other video on homing the machine to see how that's done. In this video, we're going to set the 0. Now, on this project, and I'm going to swing you around at this point and get you focused in on the project. Now, on this project, your 0 point for this project, and I set this in design, is this bottom left-hand corner of this piece. Now this piece is 8 inches by 8 inches, and the starting point or the origin point for the machine is right here. So when it carves, it's going to do this carve in reference to the 0 point at the bottom left corner. Now the Z0, and by Z I mean the Z axis, which is your router, your Z-axis will be set off the surface of the material. So I'm going to show you through, I'm going to walk you through how to set the Z-axis on this carve, which is very simple to do. It only takes a second. So from there, let's get started. I'm going to get my joystick here, and the first thing we need to do is move the machine. And we're going to get it as close as we can here to the corner. I'm doing this with the joystick, so we'll do that. We're going to get it be careful here. You don't want to jab the point of the bit into the project, so make very small, fine movements till you get set right at the Z point. Right at that very corner of the project. Okay, we're there. We've got the machine set right at the corner of the project, which you can see right there. Okay, now I use a V-bit to do this. If you've got an end mill, like a 1/4 inch end mill that has a flat surface where you don't know exactly where the very center of the bit is, it's really hard to do this. So use a V-bit, which coincidentally that's what I'm using to carve this project with anyway. So now that I've got the machine oriented where the router is right at the origin point or the 0 point, I want to go up here and tell the machine that this is where the origin is. So we'll get up here, get the machine in focus, or get the control panel in focus, and I want to tell it that's where the X and Y axis origin point is. So I set that. Now it says OK. Set that, and it says OK. 0, 0. You see, my position is now set at 0, 0 where the router is sitting. All right, so the Y and X axis are set and in position. So now what we need to do is set the Z. So to do that, I'm going to move you back over to the project here, and we'll get that router up and out of the way. And I like to get somewhere over near the center of the project. Now there are a couple of ways to do this, and I have a probe that I use to set the Z origin of the machine. You can do it without a probe, but I'll just tell you it's much easier. Now you see I set the probe plate up on top of the project, so it's setting flush with the surface here. Then I connect the magnet to the collet on the router. Once I have that done, I get the router bit set where it's just a little bit above the surface of the probe. Now I'm gonna move your camera back over here to the control panel, and down here at the bottom corner you see where it says probe Z. I'm going to touch probe Z, and it tells me to check the probe. I need to touch it, and I'll show you what it means by touch it. You see in the photograph here, it shows touching the plate to the bit. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't mean to make you seasick here. I'm going to swing you back around so you can see what I'm doing. So I pick up the plate, touch it to the bit, and when I do, this changes and checks off as being okay. It's ready to probe. So I'll tell it next, and you see the probing is in progress. And when that happens, that bit goes down. It actually checks it 2 times. And when it pulls back up like that, it's done. Once it's done, you remove the magnet, remove the probe. The probe base, I meant. So, that's it. Let me just warn you. Take your time. Don't get a hurry. If you get in a hurry and you leave that connected when you turn that router on, it is not going to be good. So now that it's found its 0, I'll click done. And the Z is set and ready to go. So we're ready to start our carve. I'll go ahead and get you over here and show you back on the control screen. We will scroll down. And you'll see that our project right here, I've already preloaded Table Rock 23 Big Bass Cut. Cut just simply means that's the cut file, not the design file. So I know the difference between the two. So at this point, I try to keep these videos under 10 minutes. So I'm going to end this video. Again, thanks for tuning in here to the Hickory Creek Mill, and I'm gonna set up, get ready to start the carve on this in the next video. So thanks for joining in. We'll see you again soon, and if you would please hit the subscribe button and the like button if you like this video, if it's helpful. It certainly helps me get out and touch other people and help them. Thanks. Bye.